wanna be held in your arms, my God. I just wanna know you. I wanna be known by the one I love. 'Cause I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. All else fades away. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. And I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. All else fades away.
All else fades away. We will stand right here in our faith today. We will praise like David say, till our King return and he save the day. I ain't worried about a stumble as I go. I got God on my heart, he the one that I follow. As these roads get nailed to the bone in the marrow, let my heart sing praise like there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah, like there ain't no tomorrow. You may try to get me, try to focus on sorrow, but I know he is here like wherever I go. His presence just around through the valley of shadows and death. Lord, please be my rest. I really want to pass these tests. All respect to the Lord, my God. He's the one that I praise till my heartbeat checks out.
I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. All else fades away. Yeah. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. I've got eyes only for you, Lord. All else fades away. Oh, 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 yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, God. You take me back to my first love. You show me who I was made for. Now I am found in your freedom, in the love of the Father. Lord, you take me back to my first love. You show me who I was made for. Now I am found in your freedom, in the love of the Father. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh.
If perfect love casts out fear, then why should I ever be afraid? When I know that you will always be right next to me. But still my vision's kinda blurry, and sometimes I can't see your hand. But even in the darkest night, you'll always be there. Oh, 'cause when I trust in you, I do the thing that I was made to do, to live a life that fully rests in you, and all your promises for me. Oh, when I trust in you, when I trust in you, when I trust in you, when I trust in you. Jesus, I know you're the good shepherd. Never ever lost a sheep. So I lay down all my worries, lay down at your feet. trust in you, I do the thing that I was made to do, to live a life that fully rests in all your promises for me. Oh, when I trust you, when I trust.
Deep in the caverns of your heart, said your beloved, your day star, the fairest among 10,000 wines. You formed the seasons and fixed the time. You gave me smiles in the morning light. Creation flowed from pure love. You were crafting, I was breathing. You were laughing, I was reaching out for you. I was made for heaven. I was made for Jesus. I was made to walk in the cool of day with you. With you.
Cursed in the garden of paradise, you knew the pain from a love eyes. To get us back, you gave it all. Filled in the likeness of flesh on earth, you bore the cross that we deserved. You gotten down on one knee. Spirit's breathing, now I'm living. We've been married, now I'm seeing what I was made for. I was made for heaven. I was made for Jesus. I was made to walk in the cool of the day with you. I was made for heaven. I was made for Jesus. I was made to walk in the cool of the day with you.
The whole point
morning. And when the oceans rage, I don't have to be afraid. I know that you love me. Your love never fails. Just mark. You make all things work together for my good. Every day you make all things work together for my good. For our good, you make all things work together for my good. Every day I see you, all things work together for my good. Over and over I see all things work together for my good. Over and over I see all things work together for my good. Every day I see things work together for my good. You make all things work together for my good. You stay the same. You stay the same through the ages. Your love never changes. There may be pain in the night, but joy comes in the morning. And when the oceans race, I don't have to be afraid, because I know that you love me. Your love never fades. Your love never fails. I see your love never fails. You make all things work together for my good. I see that you make all things work together for our good. Over and over we sing, you make work together for our good. Over and over, over and over, over and over. Come on, Josh.
Jesus, His yoke is easy, His burden is so light. Hey, His yoke is easy, His burden is so light. No
No longer am I held the yoke of this world. Come upon the yoke of Jesus. His yoke is easy, His burden
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, oh, you've never failed and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, you are mine. You are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would call me. Take me deeper
Amen, amen. You guys can have your seats. Welcome to Twlv. We're so happy that you're here. Here at Twlv, we're just a bunch of young adults, young professionals. We're getting together once a month, and we're trying to dig a little deeper. And some of us might have a church background. Some of us might not. Some of us might be used to church, or maybe we left the church, or maybe we've never been to church, or maybe we're there every week and we love it. But we kind of have this gathering to be with each other as peers and maybe open our minds and hearts up a little deeper, maybe in a way that we don't think about regularly about what does this mean? What does it mean to follow Jesus? Who is Jesus? And what does it mean as a young person? What does that mean for my life, for my vision, for my future, for my peer community? So we welcome you. We're so glad that you're here, regardless of what your background is, and that you're willing to maybe open your heart a little more to discover what that means together. I want to invite up Brendan Mascherino. Let's give a big round of applause for Brendan.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Brendan is a filmmaker who is a part of the Twlv community and has been for a good bit, a long while.
A little while.
Super talented, awesome person, and we're going to show a short film of his tonight. And so he was going to share a couple words with us about it. Brendan, tell us what's up. Tell us what your film's about.
Yeah. I don't know how I follow what you guys just did up here, but I made a short film in this this past fall quarter. I go to a school called SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. It's in Savannah, Georgia. And my friend Michael McGarrahan and I created a short film for my Film 100 class, and it required me to make like a self-portrait in form of a film. So I took lots of time, probably way too much time, to sculpt something that I think represented myself and, my identity, I guess, what the best way to describe like who I am. So I had, like I said, I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I reached out to a few friends of mine, including Mara McGarrahan and her friend Sydney. This is Mara, by the way. She totally helped this project come to life completely. And it was just a lot because in my film class, we had to make a short film every week for like 10 weeks straight. So it was a grind, and it was like right in the middle of all that. And they definitely relieved a lot of stress. But this film.
And you physically weren't at your school, right? COVID was going on. You've
exactly.
been up here.
Yeah.
It just adds another amazing dynamic to that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that, just sitting in your house for hours and hours, and there's not much inspiration. But I kind of took inspiration from something that I think a lot of people take for granted sometimes, and that's your hands. And I think they definitely describe a lot about me because I use them so much, as we all do. But specifically for filmmaking, I find myself always needing them, and drumming as I do. I just joined the worship band, and so I'm obviously using my hands a lot. And I think you guys can kind of see the narrative develop through that, through Mara and Sydney's poetry. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Weathered, shaky, steady, young. A child's tiny fingers wrapped around one larger index. A parent's joy, a partner's comfort. Hands that have learned to use God's given gift of opposable thumbs to its full extent. Hands that cannot be stilled. These are mine. The origin of my creations go back centuries to the bone. My hands. The mind behind all the beautiful madness. Like a puppeteer's fingers that are always closed off by curtains. Know how to move to make things more beautiful. My palms have memorized the perfect weight of coffee beans for a cup. A cup to make them jitter, but to jitter on command. to tap on the steering wheel as I drive, on my chest as I think, to create swells and decrescendos seated at a drum set. Sound rises through the ceiling and beckons its inhabitants to experience my solo, to watch my hands do what they do best. Later, we will go out in the woods, us and our hands, steady hands, to capture stories that up until this point have only lived in my mind. There, my hands can be actors and directors, sound crew and cameramen, jack of all trades, and joy in them all. So that one day, each dry crack and gnarled joint will hold the heaviest of remains, a fossil decoration of what they had once created.
Wow. Dude, we have so many gifted people in this community. Unbelievable. I love when people use their gifts. God, it's amazing. My name is Ryan. I'm excited to be here with you guys this evening here at Twlv. It's something you should know about me. I'm married, okay? My wife and I just celebrated our 16th wedding anniversary. Yes. Come on. Yo, our marriage got a license. It's like we're 16 years in. We still make dumb mistakes, but we're getting a little better. 16, so it's good. We're happy. It's good. But every year for the last 6 years, we've committed to doing something. It's this: is getting away. We have 4 kids as well. So to be married and to stay married, you can't always stay with your kids. It's just, you need to get away, right? So once a year, we get away for a week, no kids, no work, no distractions. This year, we went to Aruba. Yes, Aruba, go to Aruba. Incredible. Phenomenal people, the culture, the food. We loved it all. One of our favorite things to do while we were there was to scuba. Any scuba-ers? Yes, you've scuba'd. Okay, you've done the scuba. So we really enjoyed it. I mean, the water in Aruba is unbelievably clear. Some of the best beaches in the world. A couple of things you should know about me for this little story. I'm a beach bum. The beach is where I find my happy place. Okay, but there's a thing, like, I like the beach. The water, not so much. Okay, see, for me, the water is the shark's house. That's where the shark lives. The shark's domain. That's where they're born. That's where they eat. That's where they swim. It's the sharks. It's not my house. It's the shark's house. So I kind of respect that. Usually choose to respect that. Second thing, well, I gave you the first one, beach bum, shark. Third thing, I'm not really in the best shape of my life. Oh, dude. Not good. Lung capacity, I appreciate that, though. You made me feel, Lung capacity about this big. But my wife and I, as we were doing research on snorkeling, they say the farther you go out, the better it is. The deeper the water, obviously, but the colors brighten up. I mean, even as you go out farther and farther, you can still see for hundreds of yards. It's unbelievable. So one day we're sitting at this beach, we're on the sand, as we should be, and we're looking out, and we're like, we see these boats way out there, and she's like, man, I bet you it's incredible out there. And I'm like, yeah. I bet it is. So being the good husband that I am, and I've learned some things over 16 years, and you listen. And we put our flippers on, we got our goggles and our snorkel thing, and like you said, I'm not also a very experienced snorkeler, okay? Obviously, you're getting that. And we went out. We got in, water was beautiful, we're swimming out, and it was easy. Just going out, you got your stuff on, we're seeing little fish, we're seeing colors. Absolutely beautiful. And we keep going. We keep going one direction out. And at one point, I don't know how long it had been, 20 minutes, half an hour. We're out there just swimming and floating. And I'm on vacation, so I'm not thinking, right? And after a while, you're like, man, I'm getting kind of tired. And then you're like, wait a second, I can't take a break. Like, there's no pause. There's no one to be like, hey, can I just stand on your shoulders for a second, get a breath? And we're seeing this coral, we're seeing these colors, we're seeing these monster fish. It's unbelievable. My wife and I, we're like out in paradise. Nobody's around us. And these feelings started to hit me. And at one point I looked up, and the boats that were really far out were really close. Like really, really close. And I remember at the same time I'm thinking, I'm tired. And I motioned to my wife, and I'm like, hey, like, look, and the boat's like right there. And I'm like, we got to go. Because at the same time, what I was starting to feel is the current. And the current was pulling us, the beach was that way. Current was pulling us that way. And I could feel, like literally feel us kind of going this way. And so we start swimming. This happened 3 weeks ago. We start swimming. And we're going, and we're going, and we're swimming, and I'm starting to like wheeze a little bit again, contrary to what you might believe. Not in the best shape of my life. Start wheezing, start drinking some salt water, start freaking out a little bit. All the while I'm swimming, I'd look back, I could see my wife, probably like where those railings are, and I'm like, all right, she's good, we're tracking. I take my mouthpiece off, and just to like get more air. And I start going, and the waves start kind of hitting, and literally drinking salt water. I flip over to my back, like check on my wife. I'm like, she's right there. Swimming backstroke, because I'm like, this will be easier. Just gassed. I'd get up, I'd look, and it felt like the beach was not getting any closer. And then I'm like, oh, I'll just take a break. I'll just try to tread water. Like, well, if I do that, I go out. I go out again. And this moment, this feeling started to overtake me. Like I'm in the wrong situation. I'm in the wrong position. I am not supposed to be here. We made a horrible decision. Honestly, the thought started coming to my mind. I'm like, is this how it ends? No, I'm dead serious. I was sitting there because I'm drinking salt water, like trying to breathe, and then I put the snorkel thing back in, and water went through the little breathe hole that it's not supposed to, and you're like, this fear, fear consumed me. Later, my wife would tell me, she's like, Rye, I was like screaming for you. I was calling out for you for help. And I'm like, babe, I love you, but there was nothing I could do. It was like, we made it, there's some other decisions we made. Like, if we go out that far, it's like every man for themselves. I'm like, I love you, but like, no, it's horrible, but it's just like, I got nothing. Like, I'm good anywhere else, just not in water. No, but we're getting back. We're swimming, we're freaking out. And after a while, and the way the beaches work in Aruba is sometimes the beaches will be a very level or a very shallow grade. And so it'll go out forever and you can still touch. And I remember being so far out, being like, I'm going to die. Like, this is crazy. And I looked down, and all of a sudden I realized that the sand was like right there. No, not like right there, but like enough that if I put my tips down, I could literally just touch a little bit and be like breathe. And my wife came up. I love that you guys are laughing. This is like the scariest moment of my life. And my wife sees me too, and she does the same thing. And we're just sitting there, and we're kind of, at this point, we're like, oh my gosh, like we're not going to die. And we get into shore. And we don't say anything for a little bit. Like one of those moments where you're like, we both did something incredibly dumb where we almost never saw our 4 children again. And we got underneath the little thing we were sitting under to get some shade. And she's like, so are you scared? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, we almost died. I'm like, yeah, can we not ever do that again? And we snorkeled, I think, one more time that trip just because I was like, I was twisted up. But that same experience, I feel like we see lived out in our culture and time. Again, often times we struggle with this feeling of where are we? We ask questions, is there more? Am I missing out on something? FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. But asking these questions can lead to 2 things. It can lead to amazing moments in our lives. Looking to the future, looking to like what could be, can lead to some of the most amazing things we'll ever experience. And at the same time can lead to the wildest seasons of destruction. What I want to remind us tonight, myself really included, is that in those places, in that story, in the in-between, because that's the reality, we're always looking forward. That's just natural, it's normal. But it's in that in-between time that community is supposed to step in. It's in that place, whether good or bad, that the body of Christ, community, is called to move and be present. And I want to share 2 stories from my life to maybe kind of illustrate this, 2 more stories. I can remember being a 13-year-old kid from Canada. That's right, folks, I'm Canadian. That's why we're so nice. Side note, the Canadian women's soccer team just won its first Olympic soccer gold medal. Sorry, that just kind of cracked me up. Well, cheer for it, but we're soccer. I mean, it's Canadian. It's not really our. Anyways, so I remember moving from Canada to Connecticut in 6th grade. We've all been there. That's struggle, right? It's rough. I can remember going through that experience, looking kind of to the future. Like, how can I make this better? How can I feel like I belong? How can I find that safe place of acceptance? So at the age of 13, what I chose to do is I started smoking weed. 6th grade. It's like, man, that's the place where I'll find acceptance. The party, I'll be good at that. Those guys seem nice. That'll work. Without going into all the stuff, that led to almost a decade of experimenting with all kinds of drugs. Putting myself in all kinds of situations, which led to me being a 21-year-old guy, quarter-mile offshore, not knowing who I was, where I was, or how I was going to get back to land. I was mentally and emotionally rocked. I felt like I was dying, looking for anything to stand on. I had lost my identity. I had no idea who I was. Let me change gears. Fast forward 10 years. The Lord had grabbed a hold of my life in a major way. Huge shifts. The trajectory of my life had completely shifted. I was 31 years old, pastoring here at Twlv. We had just started the Westside Community Center. I had 2 boys. My wife and I had decided to expand our family again, but this time we were going to do it through adoption. We looked out to the future and said, man, out there, that's where we need to be. Life, it's so much better out there. We can see a picture of what it could be. So we entered into a 2-year process where we brought home our daughters, Scarlett and Ashlyn. I can tell you that process was amazing, but I can also tell you that process was painful. There were beautiful moments where we saw the Lord work, but those were very few and far between. The moments of pain and adversity were much more prevalent. And in both seasons of my life, incredibly different, right? Amazing and kind of tragic. something pretty amazing happened. It's this: the body of Christ showed up. Community stepped in. In both situations, there was a community of faith that rallied around either me or my family. As I mentioned, we started the community center about 8 years ago, and I get to be the director of that. We were with some of our students about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and we were looking at the parable of the Good Samaritan. See, we were looking at it from cultural unity and kind of looking at some really cool things, but I think that parable really helps with what I'm trying to get at this morning for kind of our content tonight. Let me read it for us. It says, "But he, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, 'And who is my neighbor?' And Jesus replied, 'A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And he fell among robbers who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place, saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was and saw him. He had compassion. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him down on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. Next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, I'll repay you when I come back.' Which of these 3 do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" He said. The one who showed mercy. And Jesus said to him, "Go likewise," or you go and do likewise. See, there's a few players in this story, but for the sake of time, we'll focus on 2. The Jewish man who's bloodied in the streets, and the Samaritan man who saves him. And you think about this story, there's not a whole lot we know about these 2 individuals. The Jewish man, we know 2 things. Well, really, maybe a couple more if we really do. I'm pretty sure we only know 2 things about him. And it's 1, he's Jewish, and 2, he can't fight. He's Jewish and he can't fight. The second, the Samaritan man, we know he's got a donkey. He's got some cash in his pocket. And he has a gift of compassion. So the other thing we know about in the context, just to kind of put you into it, is those 2 people groups, the Jewish folks and the Samaritans, did not mix. They were not friendly. If you were caught kind of associating, you would be shunned. It would be shunned. There's also things that we don't know. We don't know if the Jewish man had a family, or what they were like. We don't know if he was filthy rich or dirt poor. We don't know if he was educated or not. We don't know what his day was like or why he was walking to Jerusalem. We don't know his personal background, his story, what his aspirations in life were. We don't know if he was on drugs or if he was straight edge. See, in both parts of my story I shared, I was just like this Jewish man found on the street. So I was lying there in both situations, at times bloodied, looking for someone to come by. And the reality is over the course of my life, I made some really dumb decisions in the early years. Decisions that were destructive, habit-forming, honestly, things that I'm working through and dealing with even today. But there was a man by the name of Chris Fowler. Chris Fowler stepped into my life and was that sand bedrock that I needed, who gave me that gasp for air. See, God used Chris in my life to rescue me from the person I had become, from the decisions I had made. Chris didn't judge me. Chris didn't really know me. But Chris gave me the best thing he had, and that was himself. Chris wasn't a perfect man, and I'm not sure everything was perfect for him in his own personal life, but he stood in the gap for me. So I stand here this evening today as a pastor, as an executive director, as a father, as a husband, partially because of Chris's role in my life. See, the same holds true for our family's story. This picture that's going to come up, this would not be a thing. This would not exist if it were not for the people in this community or the people in my life that came around me and my wife in a season where we were literally trying to pick ourselves up off the floor. People that would come and stand beside us in our mess, in our trauma, in our struggle. People that would allow us to stand on their shoulders when we feel like we didn't have anything to stand on. Why do I share this with you today? We live in a world, in a community that is surrounded by brokenness. People struggling with identity. People struggling with who God created them to be. There are people in our lives that are crying out for help. As Christ followers, if you're sitting here and you're like, man, I love Jesus. This is something we are called to. We are called to enter into people's pain. God has called us to enter into the mess. God has called us to enter into those relationships. Think about it. Who or what are you so caught up with? What's happening in your own worlds that you've forgotten about the people that are around you? Maybe you're here tonight, and you're where I was, what is that? Something like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. You're at the bottom. You look fine. Everybody'd say you're good, but you are scraping by. One, I'm glad you're here. We're glad you're here. We want this to be a community where you can find community. But don't leave without talking to somebody. If you don't have a faith community, Providence Church, we'd love for us to be that faith community for you. We don't shy away from mess. Heck, they hired me. And they kept me. But there's something here for all of us. No matter where we see ourselves today, and it's, I've talked about it, we're all called to step into the mess. Community exists to step into the hurting parts of people's lives. No matter where you are, I don't care if you're hurting, you're at the bottom of the barrel, if you feel like you're on a mountaintop having the best day of your life. Every one of us is called to step into relationship. Who are you walking past because it seems too messy? Who did you not bring tonight or invite tonight because you thought there's no way they'd say yes? Every time I share this part of my life or these things about my life, I'm reminded, I'll probably do it tomorrow, to make a call and say thank you. People step into my life, in the life of my family when they needed most. I would not be here if it were not for Chris. I truly believe that I'd be dead or in jail. Truly. God wants to use us to change culture, to shift the trajectory of people's lives, to step into the mess. You guys are next. Are you going to answer that call? Whether it's little moments and little things that you can do day in and day out. Are you paying attention to those little moments where you see somebody struggling? Somebody gasping for air? Because I'll tell you, there's people out there that need it. Let me pray. God, I thank you. I thank you for this community. I thank you for the opportunity we have to get together and praise your name and sing songs and just be together. Lord, I pray for those that are sitting here tonight at the bottom of the barrel. Lord, they're scraping by. They're hurting. They don't know what way's up. They don't know what's going on. They see the shore. They don't know how they're going to get back to it. Lord, I pray that they would find some solace this evening. Lord, for all of us, though, God, Lord, I pray we would be a community, we would be a group of people that would take very seriously the call that you have on our lives to be the Good Samaritan. Lord, to not cross the street when we see a person struggling, Lord, to step into the mess, knowing that you've prepared and equipped us for it. God, I thank you for this moment. Lord, I thank you that you are changing lives. God, I praise you for what you've done in mine. In Jesus' name, amen.
Seems like every day little deaths befall me. I'm afraid I feel overcome by them. And if you defeated the grave, I'm alive. Every time I needed little resurrections, lifted me up from death to life. And since you defeated the grave, I'm alive.
Feel free to stand up with us if you like. Seems like every day, little deaths before me. I'm afraid, and I feel overcome by
into my heart and wake my love. Come inside these walls that I've built. Into my heart and wake my love. Come inside these walls that I've built. For I am listening for your voice. I am looking for you. I am listening for your voice in this noisy room. Take all that I hold closer than trusting you. Take what I cannot let go of. Take all that I hold closer than trusting you. Take what I cannot let go of. For I am listening for your voice. I am looking for you. I am listening for your voice in this noisy room. For I am listening for your voice. I am looking for you. I am listening for your voice in this noisy room. And I won't live out of love that I've seen from you today. I won't live out of love that I've seen from you today. I won't live out of love that I've seen from you today. I won't live out of love that I've seen from you today. Sing from you. Receive from you today. Into my heart and wake my love. Come inside these walls that I've built.
trees, standing calmly. I can feel your breath. I can feel my day. I want to know you, and I want to see. I want to say hello, 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 hello. We're about to have a dance party in here. Get ready. Come on, I don't want to see you not moving. You wouldn't do that at a concert. Music is awesome. Jesus made it. Let's go. Move. Woo! God's so good and we get to party. Yeah, that's it. Woo! Let's keep going. If you know these words, sing them out together. I know where you stand, silent in the trees, and that's where I am, silent in the trees. Why won't you speak where I happen to be, silent in the trees, standing calmly. I can feel your breath. I can feel my day. I want to know you. I want to see. I want to say silent in the trees, and that's where I am, silent in the trees. Abby and Bryson, to what do we owe the honor?
What's going on, everybody? My name's Bryson.
And I'm Abby.
Welcome to Twlv. Just being straight honest right here, this is our first time on the stage doing announcements. So yeah, count the stutters, count the likes, count the ums, and let's get it down.
Really
to it.
cool.
All right, so
Yeah.
this is Twlv. It's a regional gathering of young adults, young professionals coming together and just joining in the life, the vision, the passion, the momentum of Jesus Christ. So that's awesome, right? And you're all wondering, oh my gosh, when's the next 12? When can I come? So it's going to be the second Sunday of every month. The next 12 is September 12th, 12 on 12. And it's going to be right here in Providence Church. We've been blessed with a super awesome facility that we can use for this super awesome event. And 430 Hannum Avenue, Westchester, Pennsylvania. And what's awesome is that on Gay Street, we're going to be coming together for Iron Hill afterwards. It's going to be a good time. Abby's going to be telling you a little bit more about Twlv.
Thanks, Bryson. So if you want to get more connected, I mean, we're all here for relationships, but if you want to get involved in Twlv, you can head out to the merch table or stand or whatever that is, and you can talk to somebody there to get more involved, and while you're there, you can get some cool apparel. This isn't theirs, but you know what I mean. And then if you want to stay connected, you can go to We Are Twlv on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then you can go to weare12.com. It's all right there. Yeah, so just to stay updated and follow along, if you're, not into social media, that's an option. And then I believe one of these songs that you guys sang tonight here is a Twlv original. I could be wrong, maybe. Yes, so if you want to learn more of their music, songs, you could jam out, you can check out their music on Spotify, Apple Music, all other streaming platforms. I'm actually kind of new to the area as well, and before I came here, I knew about Twlv, and I think it was it March? Whenever the first one relaunched. And I was able to listen to their music before I got here, so it was really cool because I got to see some people's faces and kind of know the creativity and just the vibe of Twlv. So yeah, and then if you can and you would love to donate $12 to Twlv, obviously you can do more, less. That's 2 lattes, probably like 4 bags of chips, 6 packets of gum, whatever you can get.
It's $12.
It's 12. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. If you want to donate, you can also go to the website, and I think that's it for this evening. If you guys don't want to go to Iron Hill, we'll see you in September. That's the next month, right? Yeah. Okay.
Take care,
All right, have a
everybody.
good night, guys. Thank you.
Trying to change your mind, it's alright. Ooh, it's alright. Ooh, yeah. Come over here and sit next to me. We can see where things go naturally. Just say the word and I'll part the sea. Just come over here and sit next to me. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. So come over here and sit next to me. We can see where things go naturally. Just say the word and I'll part the sea. Just come over here and sit next to me.